Hello and welcome to Country Outback Crafts. My name is Melanie and today I am going to show you how I recreated my blank piece of wood sign. I had many questions on how I recreated this, and I am going to show you step by step. A lot of it I had done prior and only due to dry time, but I'm still going to walk everybody through step by step how I recreated it and how I did it. What you're going to need is any type of air dry clay. You're going to need a clear sealer, which I used Beyond. Any type of, I use DIY chalk paint. Any chalk paint would work. And stencils, I used Essential Stencil. I also used IOD stencils. And again, I will show you exactly how this was created, which you can do on any type of a glass jar. This was a light. I don't know if y'all can see that. You can do it on any jar. You can do it on a can. Whatever you have around, you can apply it to. First off, what I did was I took my clay. I'm going to push my camera down a little. I took the clay. Again, quite a few steps I did prior, only due to dry time, but I will show you exactly how it was done. So if anybody has any questions or comments, drop them below and I will answer them as we go along. Again, I'm just going to show a small part here just so everybody could see how it's done. Hopefully y'all can see it. So all I did was rolled out the clay, and you could take any type of stencil. Again, Dollar Tree also has stencils, the wheels, you can use those. You can use any IOD or any press stencil. Any type of this stencil. You can do this on any kind. If any type of stencil will give you this type of effect. So first off, again, I rolled out the clay, and you're going to take whatever stencil you have, and I'll show you in different steps. I'll roll it back out after this is done, but just so how you all can see, and you just roll that onto the clay. This is going to be hard to see. That's why I did a lot of the steps prior, because it's very hard to see with white. I don't know if y'all can see how that made that impression. Again, white is hard to see, but if y'all can see how that impressed into there. Again, it's done on this, which we'll get to that step in a bit. But like I said, you have to let this dry for 24 hours before you can apply your paint. So that was with that press stencil. That's how that gave that effect. Again, white's very hard to see. And I'm going to roll it out one more time just so you can see any type of stencil that you apply into there is going to give you all different effects. This is just a paper stencil or a plastic stencil, and you're going to do the same thing. And you just roll that onto that stencil. You do it backwards, because when you lift it, it'll come out the wrong way. So make sure the stencil's facing backwards. And again, white is very hard to see, but you can see how it's raised on there. It's hard to see, but it is there, or it's in the clay. But it gives that raise effect, which once we paint it, you'll see how that other effect comes out. Again, this has to dry for 24 hours before we do our next step. So once it's dry, you can lay it onto your board, and I just used wood glue. Once this clay was dry, I applied it onto the wood and let that dry. So your effect now is this, and you're going to apply your clear sealer. Again, I use Beyond multi-purpose sealer. So this piece is sealed. Then you're going to take your, again, I use DIY. I use chalk paint. And you're going to apply it to the clay. Again, I did quite a few steps prior to this, only so y'all could see how it was done. And you're going to take and you're going to apply your DIY or your chalk paint to your clay, which has been sealed. Don't forget, you have to seal it. So once it's sealed, then you can apply your DIY. And again, I'm not going to do the whole thing. I have another piece done prior to this, but just so y'all can see, you are going to cover your entire piece . And again, you could put this on this wood sign. You could put it on a glass jar. I'm going to show you on a glass jar how it was done, since I already posted the wood blank. So you can see how it's done in a different technique other than the wood blank. But you're going to cover the entire clay. And you're going to allow that to dry at least 3 to 4 hours before you go to do your wipe. And I will show you that in just a minute. So once you've covered your entire piece of clay, it's going to look like this. Again, make sure you got all your cracks and crevices. Then you're going to allow this to dry. Once it's dry, that is what you're looking at. Again, whether it's on that wood blank, on a glass jar, you place it on a can, wherever you place it, you're going to take it once it's completely dry, and you're just going to take some wipes, and you're going to start to wipe it back. And once you start to wipe it back, it's going to start looking like that. I think you can see that better now. And you're going to go throughout the whole piece of clay and just continue to wipe it. And you can wipe it however, you know, what, less, more, however you like the effect that you're seeing. So we went from that to that, which gives it that effect. Again, I'm going to continue just wiping the whole piece. The more you wipe it, it'll either get whiter, gets really white, or you can leave the color applied. You'll see the difference when you're wiping it back. Again, everybody's has their own preference. I like when it's more whiter. A lot of people like it when the color is left on a little more. That's what it's looking like. Again, we started with just the whole entire thing painted. I'm going to fill this in a little more so if we can get this dry, I could show you what it looks like also on the sign. Again, just make sure all your little crevices are all filled in. And you don't want to apply where it's blotted, where it looks like there's a ton in the cracks. You just want to blot it in there so it is covered, or all the indentations are covered. So it looks like that. Again, you want to give this a couple hours to dry, but I'm going to do it with a heat gun real quick just so y'all can see. And again, that can be applied on, I know this is really hard to see, but this has the cow on it, which is this one. Again, it is on there, it's just the white is so hard to see it. You could place it on a wooden, any kind of tag, will do the same effect. Again, and I showed the jar in the beginning. This is a light that I had created, and it was done on this glass jar that I had just added a design to, and just made that into a lamp. It can be placed on, the clay can be put on anything. And any stencil, the one that I had showed online, had some lettering or wording on it. And that was just on the wood blank. again, this one I'm just going to make into a flower. Put flowers in this one. But I figured Christmas is coming. People would like some different ideas of what they can use or what they can do. And I thought this clay would be an awesome idea to use onto the blank signs. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Dollar Tree does have clay. It doesn't have to be the clay that I purchased. Of course, I did not use Dollar Tree's clay, but you can try it on it. And once this is completely wiped, after all your paint is taken back, you're going to let this dry for like an hour, and then you're going to apply one more coat of the multi-purpose sealer on it, and it's good to go. But that's what it looks like. Once you remove all the paint, it brings out whatever stencil you had pushed in or applied. And there you have that. Again, this one is going to do the same thing, but I have to allow this to dry. And I think if I even just heat dry it, it's not going to be enough to do it completely. Again, I put the clay on it last night, and I applied the stencil to it, rolled the stencil. I let the clay dry overnight with the stencil applied to it. And then this morning I applied the clear to it. Once you have the clear on it, let that dry for like an hour. And then you can apply any color. It does not have to be the cherry pick color that I use, but you can use black. The other one that I showed was made with black. The one that I had completed yesterday, I did it in blue. Again, you can use any color that you want. I just wanted to show you all the technique on how you can do it or design or create, whether it's a jar, the wood plank. And if anybody has any questions or comments, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Just drop them in the link below. And everybody have a great day, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.